Hello friends, welcome to our channel Tech on Target. We will see some frequently asked question in Ansible interview. So let's start. First we will start from basic and then we will touch the advanced topic. What is Ansible? That's the most asked question because in DevOps, especially when you are hitting for the DevOps interview. So Ansible is an open source configuration management tool which help us to automate our configuration uh, um, and help us to automate our deployments and configuration of two different servers. So what we can do, we can get infrastructure as an or configuration as a code we can set, and we can achieve the immutable infrastructure or yeah, true that. So what is next question our, it is the what is a playbook in Ansible? Playbook in Ansible is a set of tasks. It is a set of tasks which we perform on our host to achieve target or achieve a specific configuration on them. It is written on YAML format. YAML is very easy to write, and we can automate the configuration through YAML file because we have other ways to implement Ansible like ad hoc way, but by using ad hoc we can't do the things in automate way. So we need playbook and some other stuff to automate our deployment. What is an inventory in Ansible? We have seen Ansible, Ansible playbook, and on which we will run our playbook, that is defined by the inventory. So inventory is the file or list of the host on which our we will run our Ansible. So same is written here. How do you define an inventory in Ansible? Uh, we inventory to define inventory, we just have to create a file inventory.ini or inventory.yaml. uh, the extension is required either .yaml or .ini, and under that we will declare our groups user on that. What is the difference between a module and a plugin in Ansible? Module is the set of code which we use to perform a specific task on host, and plugin, like plugin we use to enhance the functionality of Ansible. If I give you the example of module copy, like when I want to do some copy things from host server to host, then we use copy module. And like I'm using Ansible on AWS, and on AWS I want to I want to make use of dynamic inventory. To achieve that, I need AWS particular plugin to enhance the functionality of the Ansible to achieve the dynamic inventory. Okay, how do you install Ansible on a Linux system? Installation of Ansible is very simple. Repository is already added. You just need to either you are on Ubuntu or on Red Hat system, just apt-get install, or either use apt or you can use yum module. It is very easy to install. There is no complexity is there. Okay, how do you specify the host to run playbook on? Okay, because in the inventory file we have already seen, we define the number of hosts, but on which I maybe we have 10 hosts. We don't want to run this playbook on all hosts. So what we can do, we can specify the object or we can mention the -i option, -i host or -i IP, or we can, if we have the another inventory file which is not our default, we can also pass through -i. And on the role which we have written, we have to mention the particular host, like host is front end, and under front end we have 3 hosts. So in that way we do the make the playbook run on specific host. What is the difference between a role and a playbook in Ansible? Okay, first we have seen the playbook. Playbook is a set of tasks, but what is the difference between difference a role provide? Role also have the set of tasks, but it's also contains some files which make the deployment very easy. Like they have templates, and where vars file is different. All the directories are differently provided and make the work more easy. And on the other hand, a playbook is a simple one playbook on which we are just adding the task to achieve something. To we can achieve the same task via role and via playbook, but when you implement it through the role, it will give you the great flexibility. Next, how do you pass variable to an Ansible playbook? Okay, we can pass Ansible playbook variable to Ansible playbook by using hyphen extra var. Either you mention hyphen extra hyphen vars, or you can simply mention hyphen and then colon inverted commas and your key, then equal to its value, key your variable and equal to its value, and you can pass that. Okay, how do you encrypt the sensitive data in an Ansible or playbook? Okay, because what is the sensitive data is here? Sensitive data may refer to password, tokens, API keys. There are to run a specific task, because we have number of tasks to run a specific. We should need authentication for that particular task, and we have to mention the keys. So we can't pass the key in just a plain text, because it is a security threat. So what we can use the uh, Ansible Vault command. By using the Ansible Vault command, we encrypt the data which is not human readable, and we can make the execution of the playbook secure. Okay, task and handler. We have already seen a task, what a task do. What a task do, it is a set of code. It is a set of code which is written to perform a specific task. Again, take the example of copy task. Like I have written a task to which is using the copy module, and it's just copying the something from server to the host. On the other hand, uh, handler is that handler is the task which is depending upon the other task. It's taking input from other tasks and performing some action. Like uh, we can define the same handler on multiple places. Like I'm installing the Nginx, and while installing the Nginx, I'm calling the handler. While copying it template file, configuration file, I want to use the customer, I'm also doing that. And in the last, when I'm checking this status through systemd module or other module, I'm also passing that. If total 3 steps tasks are there, if any tasks have the state of change, then handler will be called, otherwise it will not called. Okay, I think it's very much clear with the what is difference between task and a handler. While a handler is a task that is only executed when called by another task. Okay, when task changes state, then it's called the handler, otherwise it's not called. Okay, how do you run a single task from an Ansible playbook? We can, like a playbook might contain task of maybe n number of tasks it can contain. If I have to perform a specific task on specific host, then you just need to start this parameter, have to pass hyphen f start hyphen f add task, and then name of the task, then your task, specific task will be run. Okay, that was good question. How do you limit the number of hosts a playbook is run on? That just mean we have a number of hosts. How can we put the limit to run on it? Either we can just provide IP or name with hyphen hyphen limit. We like Ansible hyphen playbook. Then playbook is there. Then we have the we can mention the hyphen hyphen limit option. Then we can pass the username there, or we can simply pass the IP address there. How do you debug an Ansible playbook? Actually, when we do the deployment or when we're writing playbook for deployment purpose, there are chances we get error, because this is part of the work. When we do some deployment, there is our chances. How we can debug it, that's more important. How we can get rid of that as early as much possible. So we have some mechanism in Ansible. We can use the debug module with register to get the error or get the error message and some important information to fix that. Plus we can run the Ansible playbook like Ansible hyphen playbook, uh, then playbook name space hyphen b or hyphen vv option. That will more help you to get detailed work done under a particular task. Otherwise it will just show us the status is okay, changed, okay, it's and change its color. But if you want to trail information, you have to choose this option. What is the idempotence in Ansible? If I say the main building block of Ansible or it's getting famous is because of idempotency. Any configuration management tool should be idempotence. What is idempotence? It is based upon the drive. Don't repeat yourself. That's just mean whatever task you have done, you should not redo that. Like if you have installed the Nginx on your remote machine, on your remote target, you are not supposed to do that again. If you are doing it on multiple times, you are just wasting the your in management or your organization time, because it's also wasting time, it's also wasting the resources, because internet is also getting used and other resources are getting utilized to perform the same task again. So what is idempotence saying? Like we have 10 tasks and we are performing the same playbook on this host again. So 10 of 10 parts task will not be executed again if there is they are already executed. Like we are copying a file to a destination, okay, and file is already present there, then it will not uh, copy it again. There is no meaning of doing that again of same task. But next time if we change the parameter or variable and we will tell him to copy the other things, it will take copy of that and do that. That is the benefit of the idempotency. Idempotency is very important in Ansible, and it is the uh, greater feature I like about the idempotency. Hope you are liking the video. Please provide your feedback on by doing comment, and if you have some other topics to be explored, you can mention with me on comment. We will surely explore that. How do you check the syntax of an Ansible playbook? Ansible is written in the YAML language. YAML language is either very simple, but it is very sensitive with the syntax. If you just give a space more, it will give you throw the error and your playbook will not run. So what will you do? Because most of the tasks we do through the CLI. So Ansible hyphen playbook, playbook name plus hyphen hyphen syntax hyphen check, you just pass and it will tell you your syntax is okay or not okay. How do you define variables in an Ansible playbook? We can pass the variables through our hyphen hyphen extra var, plus we can use the setup module. Setfacts, we can also use setfact or setup module in the Ansible playbook. How do you include another playbook in an Ansible playbook? So I have written a playbook which is the installing something, then it's doing some configuration, and I don't want to keep the same configuration in because my playbook length is getting very high. So I create another playbook of configuration, and what I do, I call it in the there is a mechanism of calling other playbook in this another playbook by import playbook module, or you can just mention it and give the name. Either you can include playbook, include hyphen playbook, you can also mention. Both will be work, and you are able to use another playbook in same playbook. Okay, what is the difference between a task and a role in Ansible? Okay, task, I already tell you, task is just a set of code, piece of code, which performs some specific task. For example, copy. Role, role is the collection of tasks, plus roles have these files. So role is collection of tasks plus files. So what is role providing? Role providing the reusability as a greater extent. How do you loop through a list of item in Ansible? We have seen till now about the uh, like what are the tasks, roles, and other stuff. To use the thing uh, in a best practice way, there are some things like loops in Ansible. What we have to do, uh, if I give you the example of again the copy, I am copying the one file to other file. I will use the module. Then I have to use two. I have to move two file. But we will normally do. We will call create another task, and we will move or copy that command to that server. But instead of that, Ansible is telling us use a keyword with the item and mention the all the files there, and in the task mention there is syntax item dot particular that variable name, and you are able to move all the files which you have mentioned in this with item within the with item block will be moved. So in that way we will create a loop, and we will that how it work in Ansible. How do you check the status of service using Ansible? There are module, system D module I think is there, plus service module is there. We can check the status of service by using that. Okay. How do you copy a file? Plus I want to tell you, by using previous both module, we can check the service status, plus we can restart the service, because there are some services when we install them, uh, they need to be enabled or start at first time. So we can start them, restart them, we can enable them. Multiple things we can do with the help of arguments what we pass under that. How do you copy a file from a local machine to a remote server using Ansible? I think I have given already answer of that in multiple questions, because I'm taking the example of copy module very frequently. So copy module is the answer for that particular. How do you execute a command on a remote server using Ansible? But if I tell you in this particular question, it is saying the local machine to a remote server. But what when you have to do the copy from remote server, one remote server to another remote server, then you are also you will also use copy module in that. But some argument need to be remote, like remote RSC will be added, and that you have to look out, study out that you, it is not like that you are just copying the thing from local machine to remote server. It is much more than that. Okay. How do you execute a command on a remote server using Ansible? If I just have to execute a single command or single or multiple commands, don't want to use Ansible module, then there are modules shell and command we can use and execute through that. we can use the whole script in that, but I will suggest you not to use both, because the but is the feature of Ansible is their they provide idempotency, and they both don't provide the idempotency. So don't use these module. There are some modules for specific data. There are multiple modules are there, and they are providing the idempotency. You should prefer the modules who providing the idempotency, and you should prefer that. If you are not finding that, uh, for being the temporary time, you can use that, but they are not preferable one. Okay. What is a fact in Ansible? Facts are uh, fact maybe many things, but most of the time we will use fact word for the information what we gather from remote host, like what is its OS, its IP address, public IP address, private IP address, what kind of OS version is there, what is its family, multiple information is there. So same, it's saying the host name, IP address, operating system, hardware information. uh, when Ansible is work on push mechanism, most of the time its basic mechanism there is push the configuration, push the tasks on the remote server, and remote server according to that configuration will happen on that. But before pushing that, it will take a pull from all the servers. When it takes pull from all the server, uh, we mention these things as an gather facts. So when it do the gather facts, it will gather this information which it used to perform task. Because when we run the play, we have the apt and other module. So we have the package module also there. When we run that particular module, how it just knows that it's going to install the things on yum or apt? It's know or get the things from facts only. So maybe we can say gather facts. Okay. How do you override a variable in the Ansible? Some of you like to this answer because we have already done this. So hyphen next bar is the answer. If you want to override some variable, you have to pass it while running Ansible playbook, and it is have the highest precedence. So by mean that if you have given the in the vars or in the default folder of role, if you have given any value, it will override that. Okay. Okay. How do you use condition in Ansible? But my question is that why we have to use condition? Like we have written the codes, written the configuration file, and we want to give a specific condition like that. If user exists, if file exists, like that one. If there is a file, then only this task will perform, otherwise it will not perform, or some this kind of setting. So what we can use, there is a when keyword we have in the Ansible to give the that, like we have lots of tasks and we want to just run the two tasks in the roles, or some particular task 3 4 whatever the number, we should give a particular tag to that, and in the condition we will give when to run this, when user enter tag of this as an true, so this particular task will be run. That's very important while working in role, to run specific task, specific number of tasks. It's not one task, it is specific number of tasks. So tags and when is very useful in that. What is Ansible Galaxy role? So Ansible Galaxy role, uh, Ansible Galaxy is a community driven place where they share the Ansible role. So we can get the Ansible role from that, uploaded by a different user, and we can use that. It's open to all to use, and you can also contribute on that for your role. How do you install Ansible Galaxy role? Okay, you have just used to Ansible Galaxy command with the install option. You don't have to install any other utility or binary software, if you have Ansible in your local system, you can use the Ansible Galaxy command to install the tool. Okay. Okay. How do you create a custom module in Ansible? We have lots of very large number of modules available in the Ansible, but there might be a condition in your organization that you needed some special module to perform some special task, but for that the available module are not working. So you can write your own modules. How? What you need? Any programming language that can read and write JSON, such as Python, Ruby, you can use and write your module. Python or Ruby are best if you want to write. How do you use the templates in Ansible? There are Jinja plus template modules are there, through which we can use the templates in Ansible. But you are understanding why we are using the templates? What is the need here? So if I tell you what is the need of using templates, like we have done in the installation of Elasticsearch. Okay, we have done the okay, and there are some configuration which there is a configuration file elastic.yaml in this /etc/ elasticsearch elastic.yaml file. We want to customize that as per our use case. So there is the one way we will use the line in file and other tool to edit one by one line, or that's not the best practice. You, for the configuration file, you can use the uh, template which and you will verify the variables for, like, where the host, where the master server, where are the worker nodes, and when the it will run, it will take the gather facts are already there, it will collect the IP address from there and put it over here. That's how you are utilizing the variables there. And so main answer for this is the template module and Jinja 2 templating module. Okay, they are very easy to use. Okay, filter in Ansible and Jinja 2 test in Ansible. So Jinja 2 filter is a function that can be used in a template to modify the output. Okay, and Jinja 2 test is the function that can be used in a template to test a condition and return a boolean. Okay, if you want their to be written as a true or false as per some condition in your environment, that can be done with the test. And if you want to give in the configuration for some specific things, you can use the filter, and filter will take the input and provide their specific output. How do you create a conditional statement in Jinja 2 statement? Conditional in the Jinja 2 is we can use the if statement there, if keyword and else keyword there. If this is that, like if host is equal to Elasticsearch 1, print its IP, or in the curly braces variable name. So it's very simple to use. Okay, how do you use loops in a Jinja 2 template? So to use Jinja 2 loops template, we have the keyword for like we have the number of hosts in Elasticsearch is 3. For host in Elasticsearch, we then curly braces variable name, and then end for that keyword. In the last you have to and for need to mention there. Okay. How do you use roles from another repository in Ansible? We can use the roles. There is no foundation of that. We can use the role from repository, but just we have to mention in the our configuration file. So there is one question arrived. I have not written it in the slides. What is Ansible.cfg? Ansible.cfg is the main configuration file in which contain the all the configuration, what are the modules, what are the plugins, and lots of information is there. There are lots of questions coming in the interview, and what are the main precedents of that. So when you are working, your environment variable is, if you define the environment variable that's have the greater precedence, then your current working directory, then your home directory. Like if I give you the example, you have set a environment variable of slash home slash ubuntu slash config slash ansible.cfg that have the higher priority. Then if you are not define the environment variable and you are in the slash home slash ubuntu slash some folder, under that you are working, that configuration file will be used. If that folder don't have configuration, then configuration file available in this slash home slash ubuntu means your home directory will be utilized. If these three are not available, then slash etc slash ansible slash ansible.cfg, that's the default directory with the lowest precedent will be used. So uh, in that particular repository, we have to specify the URL of the role in the roles path. Okay, so I think we are clear with that. How do you run a task if a certain file exists on remote server or not? That's we can use the stat module. We have already discussed about the gather facts. Gather facts can gather the lots of information from the remote server. Basis on that remote information, we do the configuration, do the Ansible take the decision. So here we will use the facts and do this operation, do this particular task. How do you create a vault file in Ansible? We have already seen why we are using vault. First, you have to be clear with that why we are using vault to encrypt, for the security purpose to encrypt. So how do you create a vault file in Ansible? First, you install the vault, and then you can encrypt a file with the using, like you have to mention Ansible vault space create space file name. File name can be anything, whatever you want. Okay. How do you encrypt, decrypt a file using Ansible vault? Encryption and decryption, in the previous step, what we have done, created a file in Ansible. Okay. And we want to encrypt that. Like Ansible hyphen vault, and yeah, that one, Ansible hyphen vault. Then for first we do the encryption, space encrypt space file name. Then you can have to use the option hyphen hyphen user ask pass to, so that it will ask you to enter a password. And when you are going to decrypt that, Ansible hyphen vault, this one, you have to write in space, then decrypt space that file name hyphen use password. When you run that, it will ask you for the password, and when you enter the password, you will get inside it and you can use that. Okay, we have learned how we can encrypt and decrypt, but when we encrypt some file, we are supposed to do some changes that we require. Like I have written a configuration file for Elasticsearch, and after that sometime there are some changes occurring in Elasticsearch. According that, I have to update my file. So what I can do, I will decrypt. No, I will let it remain encrypted, but I can edit it in encrypted form. How you can edit it? Ansible hyphen vault space edit space file name. Either you use ask password, or you can use the file option. So same is written here. How do you run a playbook with an encrypted file using Ansible vault. Okay, we have created a file when it's time of execution. um, we can do execution. You can in that way, Ansible hyphen playbook, then playbook name. In the last, we will pass the hyphen hyphen ask hyphen hyphen vault hyphen pass option. It will ask you to enter the password. Whatever the password you have settled, you just need to enter, and then you are ready to your file execution will be started. So let's take the next question. Dynamic inventory in Ansible. Dynamic inventory, you understand, there is a host of list. So we have two type of lists there, inventory is there. One is static or dynamic. Mentioning host manually there, entering the host is static list. What is dynamic? When like when suppose we are working in the cloud AWS, and we are working in an auto scale environment. With the increasing traffic, our hosts are increasing. So what I want to tell there, if I have to do configuration there, some kind of, so it is very difficult to work there. So uh, what I will do there, I will use the dynamic inventory option, and all the host list which is currently present will automatically fetched, and my playbook will run upon and that. So I dependency of entering the host manually there is gone with the dynamic inventory. So dynamic inventory is the list of host, server, database, cloud provider, etc. is there, which we can which provide the list of host dynamically. Okay, how do you create a dynamic inventory in Ansible? If I in the starting of video, I have told you that there are some plugins which we use to enhance the functionality of Ansible. So we can use the Ansible plugin here to enhance the to get the dynamic list of the host. Plus, if we are not using the plugin there, we can write our own script in Python or JSON, whatever you comfortable with. You can write your own script and retrieve the list of information you want from cloud or from your source. What is callback plugin in Ansible? A callback plugin is a plugin that can be used to modify the output of an Ansible playbook, such as adding custom message, logging the output to a file, or sending notification. So if you want to notify Slack, email, or want to do other stuff, you can perform by using callback plugin. Okay. How do you create a callback plugin in Ansible? You can create a callback plugin using Ansible by writing Python script. Whole the code of the Ansible is used. If you see, is written in the most of the code are written in the Python. So whenever you want to make some custom changes, custom enhancement, you needs a person with the skill of Python, and you can master the Ansible. So answer is we can create by using Python script. Okay, and all the you have script that implementing necessary method and placing it in the callback plugin directly. Okay, what is the Ansible tower? Actually, what Ansible till now we have read, it is Ansible, which is open source, free of cost to of anyone who can use. But what is Ansible tower? Ansible tower is an enterprise version by Red Hat. So if you want to use Ansible tower for deploying and do automate deployment, you have to pay some you have to pay something to Red Hat, then it will give you key license, whatever, and then you can use the Ansible tower. What is the extra feature you are getting? It's much easy to use, and you have a GUI version there which is not present in the conventional open source our Ansible, GUI is not there. Everything is in code. We have to write our YAML file playbook, lots of role we are writing that we have to do. But if we are opting the option of Ansible Tower, it's a good option, very good option to opt out. And job scheduling things are becomes easy as per my understanding. And but it's a paid version. You are organizing opting what are their budgets, but same thing we can achieve with the Ansible open source, but just we don't have the GUI version. So both are preferable. You can use whatever your organization want to deal it with. Okay, next question. What is the difference between Ansible and Puppet? Both are configuration management tool, and there are lots of configuration management tool. Puppet is there, Chef is there. Architecture is the different. If you see, we are not, we have till now see the 45 question. We haven't done any installation on agent, on host, whatever we are saying. How we are connecting to that? That might be a question. That is simple. You just need an SSH connection configured there. SSH connection should be there. Neither other thing you require in Ansible. So Ansible, we say agent-less architecture. There is no agent in the Ansible. Other Puppet and Chef, we have the agent to be installed on the agent side, and there is no such kind of dependency is there. You can see here, Ansible is a configuration tool that uses declarative language and agentless architecture, while Puppet is a configuration management tool that use procedural language and agent-based architecture. Okay. Agent-based architecture is there, and what is the main difference I found? And Ansible is the first configuration tool what I learned, and I love the Ansible. So now next question is also that what is the difference between Ansible and Chef? I think it's also agent version, but language is also different. Like it's used the Ruby, which is somehow difficult if you compare it with the YAML language. If you task a person to learn the YAML plus to then same person to ask after some time to learn Ruby, it will take time, take more effort to learn Ruby, to return scripts in that. And if we talk about the Ansible, you just have to call the modules in the key pair form. If you see in the modules like copy module, you have src test, just easy. Any can simple person who's not technical can easily used. So we are in the end of our section. So till now we have seen many questions there, but Ansible is very fast. We are I'm not able to cover all the topics. If I need help from your side, if you have some questions, advanced level you want to cover, and you can mention it on and mention it on comment. We can add in the advanced, if when we will publish our next video on advanced question on Ansible, we will include on that. Okay, thank you for your support till now, and I hope for the same. Bye.